So Roman Reigns was on Logan Paul's podcast, not the press conference or whatever. We'll get into that during the show, but I guess he was on his podcast. Tribal Chief responded on his 5 kids. When we're not wrestling, we like having fun. A lot of innuendos right there from our Tribal Chief, including one where maybe is Roman on Eugenics Total T? Is he making a pitch here? Look at that face. Look at and guys, Roman does it too, right? Roman likes it too. That was fun. He's got a career in advertising after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. My name is Karl. I am your host of Misinformation. These are my band of merry men. I'm in a little bit of a weird isolation place today. Partes and Nunes, as John DeConnie likes to call it. I am away, actually. Alpha obviously is with me. He can't be alone, trusted with the cats. Got to keep the gimmick alive. Welcome to episode 120. A lot to talk about today. 2 huge shows to pick. On the bottom part of our screen, the first ever PWG champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are things today?
It's a lovely day in Jersey. We're talking wrestling. That just doesn't get any better than that. Come on.
No, it absolutely does not. And I forgot. I'm Joseph. I'm Joseph Kennedy. I forgot. Powered by these, an observer. Completely forgot about that, or slipped my mind. On the top part of our screen, as always.
And number 4, John Smith.
It is funny. I honestly think, I don't think maybe you've, I mean, I know you know it's coming now. We've done it like week after week after week, but I can see your camera on the bottom part of the screen, and I can just see you smile every time that pops up. I'm like, so I'm glad it's John, how are things going with you today?
Good, man. You should have him say number 74, John Smith, next time you talk to him, because that was my football number.
I did see Alex. He was here the other day. He was doing something with whatever, there was an event going on here. I'm not sure. Down on the bottom part of our screen is going to join us early today. Former NXT UK correspondent joining us from overseas, soon to be NXT Europe and NXT, as we just talked about, NXT Global correspondent Gary. Your pay grade just
it's going to the moon, as we were saying earlier on. It'll be through the roof.
It's really unbelievable. All right, let's see. On today's episode, Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins fought last night for the United States title, and to be known as the face of Monday Night Raw, we had 4 teams fight over the right to challenge for the WWE Tag Team titles on SmackDown. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, which is always sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. And guys, Shill and Roman, our tribal chief, they like it too. No, now that makes sense. Why? It's an erect. Okay, never mind. Now it's all. Now I get it. There we go.
Start to come together, Pepper.
Yeah. We were going to main event the show and making our picks for Impact's Victory Road again this Friday for some godforsaken reason, and AEW's Grand Slam, both Dynamite and Rampage. We're going to hear the Raw roll-up standings heading into this week. AEW with the lead, a 2 roll-up lead on Raw. Raw and SmackDown both been stagnant lately. Impact here and there. Impact might pass Raw at the way this is going right now. Raw is just not living up to the expectations ever since Triple H took over. I guess he did away. I guess was that in a meeting? They did away with the Raw roll-up? I guess I have no idea.
So next year, if AEW or Impact wins this, is it going to be called the AEW roll-up?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I got something to root for.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to curtain jerk the show with NXT's first 1-year anniversary, NXT 2.0. First year anniversary with a fan vote that allowed Wes Lee to challenge for the North American title. But John Smith, as I'm changing everything, it looks like Trick and Mellow. Trick and Mellow. Isn't that a song, right? Trick and Mellow. As I'm getting everything, and now I'm just behind because I'm not reading off my notes here.
You have to change these colors, by the way.
Don't worry, it's coming. Don't worry about it. Yeah. They slammed his head in a locker room door, Ric Flair with War Games. Actually, we just found out that was the anniversary of that the other day. So it looks like Wesley's North American title victory over Carmelo Hayes will have to wait. At least that's what I thought as it's happening. I'm like, damn, because that was my big thing. I'm like, I was my big shining moment because I called Wesley winning this. Then they took him out, John Smith, and it looked like somebody was owed a title shot that he didn't forget about.
Well, somebody's been saying I got next for a few months, and that man is the Bloodline's newest member, Solo Sikoa. So Carmelo came out to brag about what happened to Wesley and whatnot, and then I guess I don't have an opponent for tonight. Not. Out comes Solo. Yeah, it's 1993.
Yeah, Wayne's World, right?
Out comes Solo Sikoa. Long story short, the Bloodline is too much for Carmelo to handle. They go about 10 minutes, and then Carmelo gets squashed with the big splash from the top rope for the 1, 2, 3, and we got ourselves a new champion. Now everybody's got gold in except for Sami Zayn, of course, but that's fine with me.
Oh, yeah, it's
stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, and I like how they snuck this in there because you're not getting that belt off Gunther and you're not getting that belt off Bobby Lashley. So it's like, what do you do to try to get Solo?
Send Sammy after Dana Brooke. 24/7 in the Bloodline.
And imagine that, and every time they chase after Sammy, like he's like running behind Jay. Of all people, it's always Jey Uso. He runs behind. There's just so much you can do with Sammy. Oh, he's just so good. We'll get to Sammy in a minute, though. But yeah, we have a new North American champion, Solo Sikoa, bringing the North American title to the Bloodline, bringing it to SmackDown. So I guess he's going to have a double duty coming in the next couple of weeks, appearing on both shows. Gary, we had a tag team championship match as well. Started the show. The fans voted for a steel cage.
Yeah, and I've only just stopped looking through my fingers when I was watching it because there were some scary bits in it, courtesy of the Creeds, who scare me in a bad way and a good way whenever they're in at the same time. But it was lots of strikes, lots of good stuff. We had Pretty Deadly hitting the springboard code breaker. Then we had Brutus with a brutal cage bomb on Elton Prince that would just literally left them upside down inside the ropes, which was just scary as anything. Lots of suplexes. A big Pretty Deadly actually had a superplex off the top of the cage. But as we came through towards the end, we had Damon Kemp, who came out with his handcuffs and handcuffed Judas on the top of the cage, which was only delaying the inevitable. Pretty Deadly hit one spilt milk, got a near fall, ended up beating down Brutus badly after he tried to make his comeback, hit another spilt milk for the 1, 2, 3, and Pretty Deadly keep the titles.
I'm sorry, just never getting older. That's the name of their finisher. Spilled milk. I think it should be spoiled milk, right? If they're pretty, there's a spoiled milk, ugly spoiled milk. I don't know. We used to call a girl when we were calling bullying, whatever, behind her back, call her spoiled baloney. Anyway, yeah, it was bullying in high school. Anyway, yeah, so we have the tag team champions. Damon Kemp's got a head, probably the structure of a rock, because he was just taking punch after punch after punch after punch from Julius Creed, trying to get that handcuff on him. That was good job by Damon Kemp. Quincy Elliott, who apparently is the love child of the Velveteen Dream and the world's largest love machine, Viscera, he defeated In Action in his first match with a Yokozuna splash. I haven't seen that in a very Bonsai drop. The Yokozuna splash is now back, and I guess, yeah, Quincy Elliott, he's got quite the pop. He's got quite the following. People are already behind him. He plays his character well, if that is a character. Velveteen Dream meets Viscera, the world's largest love machine.
It looks like, yeah, it's like a cross between those two, who was raised by Gold Dust.
Yes, there you go. Goldust was his nanny. Yeah, there you go. John Smith, we're idiots. So that's well, not me, just me and you, all of us, because we all missed the obvious with Tony D and Stacks against Cameron Grimes, and our partner Grimes is choosing it. Of course, this whole thing is that he wants to be alone, so we knew he wasn't going to choose anybody. Yeah, Joe Gacy, we're idiots. That one was an obvious one. He came out. I'm like, damn it, why didn't we call that? The four of us.
That's Triple H. You know, he just gives us what we want, even though we don't want it. Even though we don't know we want it. Grimes comes out to face Tony D and Stacks 1-on-2. About a few minutes into the match, after he got all his load blown, he ended up in the corner, just getting beat on by the family for about a minute, and then out comes Joe Gacy, the dyad. So Gacy gets up on the turnbuckle, and he's Cameron Grimes' new partner, but Grimes wants nothing to do with it. So Grimes isn't tagging him in. He ends up hitting a double Hurricane Rana on Tony D and Stacks at one point. He's coming back. He reverses a suplex and stumbles into the corner, and Gacy tags himself in. Tony D and Grimes end up on the outside. Gacy's like a ball of fire beating up Stacks. Stacks reverses an Irish whip, and then he comes off the ropes, and Grimes has just gotten back in the ring, hits him with his, I always forget what it's called, the back flipping, where it looks like he's getting hurt, but all of a sudden he's slamming the guy. And then he hits the stomp on Tony D, and then we get the springboard clothesline on Stacks from Gacy for the 1-2-3. So Gacy's celebrating. Grimes still wants nothing to do with him. So then the dyad beats up Grimes anyway after the victory.
Gacy came in like a Joe Gacy hot tag. Normally I wouldn't think of anything. That was a vicious. That was like, I would say Oni Lorcan vicious, because that's still the most vicious hot tag in wrestling history. It was an Oni Lorcan hot tag. And he just took people's heads off. But that was very impressive, Joe Gacy. I didn't see that coming for him. But the dyad wasn't done later. Idris Anafi, Malik Blade, they were talking to a reporter, bad-mouthing Joe Gacy outside for no reason whatsoever. It was overheard by the dyad. So they started brawling. And then the security guard goes, Hank Wank Honkers or whatever his name is, Hank Williams or whatever. We got this. Go win one for the kid. Like, it was like a whole thing. Go live your dream. Like, we got this. And then here comes Hank Walker, right? Here he goes. John Ducati. We got the match that he's been waiting. This is a childhood dream come true. This is just like Shawn Michaels winning the title at WrestleMania. This security guard's dream of being a pro wrestler. And the other guy, that was so funny. We got it. Don't worry about it. You do it. Go live it.
Yeah, like
big body hobby.
They made this even funnier than I thought, because I thought we were going to, I don't want to say ignore kayfabe. I thought we were going to go with the idea of, we know all these security guards are guys that are training. So I figured maybe he'd come out in, his pair of slacks, but he'd have a singlet on underneath it. Now, he came into the ring like, I just happen to work here. I don't know how any of this works. He was still in a button-down shirt and hard shoes. And he kind of was awkward and fumbling around the ring. He did, I don't know that he pulled off a wrestling move the entire, 3.5 minutes that this match lasted. But in the end, through 3 minutes, 25 seconds, he threw Big Body Javi around a little bit, and then he kind of finished him with just like a running shoulder block or standing cross body in a 1-2-3. And Hank Walker picks up a big W in his dream match.
That's it. And because the security guard's normally a joke in pro wrestling, and this guy did what he was somewhat paid to do. He's paid to be tough. He's paid to pick fights or whatever. And he said that. It's like, dude, you made me a wrestler. I can still kick your ass. And that's exactly what I did. So chalk one up for Hank Walker. Honk Wankers. Fallon Henley defeated Lash Legend after a spinning kick. Good job by Fallon. And then Brooks Jensen apparently joined the club here. Has a thing for Mandy Rose, in which Mandy found creepy because Jensen flipped his words by accident. In which Alex Trebek or Will Ferrell playing Alex Trebek's talking titles, Mr. Connery. Famous titles. Dolly Parton. Oh, titles, Mr. Connery.
Buckfucker.
So that was and let's see what we have here. Fallon Henley didn't appreciate how Mandy was talking to Brooks Jensen. So look for that to happen at some point. And if we do remember correctly, I don't know if this is still a thing or not, but didn't he have a thing for Fallon in the beginning? And he was supposed to be this 27-year-old virgin, and then he broke his hand, and then he was going insane because he couldn't, do whatever you do with your right hand if you're right-handed.
Hank Wankers?
Well, Honk Wankers. so they, I guess maybe they can go back. Fallon kind of stuck up for Brooks, but I guess on a different note, ironically enough, 2 days later, congratulations, Mandy Rose and Tino Sabbatelli on their engagement. So I guess Mandy is officially off the market. And then as we get into tonight's episode of NXT, it looked like Dink. And where is it? Dink. Looks like the Nickelodeon graphics are gone. We're going back to black and gold. It was a fun 1 year, I guess. It's whatever. Like I said, Johnson there, it was more than an aesthetic thing. The wrestling wasn't bad. They were all brand new people. There was Shawn Michaels, was trying to build all this new stuff from Vince McMahon. So it ended up being pretty good. Like I said, we got matches. Carmelo Hayes is he's the one that shined the entire year. He was the man. So moving forward, back to the black and gold. Tonight, Toxic Attraction did an in-ring promo saying they carried NXT for the past year. They were interrupted by Alba Fire. Said some things, and then it started swinging her bat. Toxic had no choice but to retreat. Earlier tonight, I do believe that JC and Gigi actually talked some trash about Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley as well. So that's going to be the tag team match we get tonight, John Smith, as Toxic Attraction takes on Ivy and Tatum.
I'm going to go with Ivy and Tatum on this one. I think it's time for Toxic Attraction to take a few losses now that they don't have the titles anymore. They even got a win on the main roster in that tournament. So, it's time for them to start losing a little bit.
And I feel like they had the last couple of matches they had lost. They did lose. I know they were back on SmackDown against Raquel and Aaliyah, Gary. They lost that match. And I think they lost something earlier on NXT as well. But, yeah, I agree with John Smith. They held the belts for so long. Let's see what else. Because eventually, once Mandy loses, I think the three of them might just go right up.
Yeah, so I think so. I'm with John on that. I can see Diamond Mine taking this one.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, I agree with the two other gentlemen. I think, and like you mentioned, Alba Fire was kind of in there too. So maybe Toxic starts cheating. Maybe Mandy's out there, and maybe Alba gets involved. Either way, I see Ivy and Tatum taking this one.
Gary, whatever discussion we were having aside, because I thought Oliver Carter was Jamaican. That's my bad. But Oliver Carter stole Di Familia's gimmick. Sitting at a nice dinner table, it's got some flowers, some nice china and silverware. Ollie Carter took the last knife. He went through all of Di Familia as it was right before it ended, and then he just stuck the knife right in their hearts by completely stealing their dinner table gimmick. Ollie Carter, ladies and gentlemen.
You'd see Di Familia coming back, growing their beard out and being angry, coming back going, we had a chance to get called up and you took it from us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see him. He'll do good. I mean, he's a good wrestler, and I think that's if they're going to bring people like Quincy Elliott and stuff up here a bit greener and need a bit of time, having somebody like Oro Mensa about will be a good thing. So.
Yeah, it's his name. Oro. Is it Oro? Oso Mensa?
Oro. I can't remember.
I think it was Oro.
Oro.
Grayson Waller was upset. He wasn't in the top 4-star of the year voting. I do believe Braun Breaker won that, correct? I guess he's the champion. I guess that's not even really a fan, but these really fan votes. Like, anyway. Yulissa Fawaz, I think that was her, tore her ACL. So it looks like Valentina, I think, is the other one. I still get them confused. One of them tore their ACL. So it looks like the other is going to have to go it alone for a bit. Enter Von Wagner and Mr. Stone, who are pissed that Von lost the fan vote for the North American title match. almost used profanity in front of the women, which did not make Sanga happy at all. So we have Sanga going against Von Wagner, who recently, he can't buy a bucket. Like, he has just been losing and losing and losing. And I could have swore about 6 months ago I saw him on SmackDown, John Connie.
Yeah, exactly. That is kind of crazy. Does it continue here? I mean, Sanga was impressive the one time that I think we've seen him. I'll say Sanga gets it done here again. And maybe we're leading towards a Von Wagner, hitting rock bottom and maybe turning on Stone or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But give me Sanga tonight.
I'll leave Mr. Stone out of this, John. I spy a Jersey guy. I like Robert Stone. Gary Mehaffy. Yes, I'm with Johnny. Von Wagner is just... Tyler Bate beat him in 6 minutes. Leave it at that.
I'm going to go for Von Wagner, actually. I think that he needs it. I think he's going to use his head, particularly his forehead. They're shooting it from good angles, not just bad, but I think Von Wagner's going to take it. I know that Sanga's there and he looks very mean and impressive, but I think there'll be a bit of shenanigans and Von Wagner will have it.
Yeah, that son of a Beverly, John Smith. Von does need this bad. I just don't think they're going to give it to him.
How is he not doing Geico caveman commercials? Seriously.
I'm not exactly sure that's a thing anymore.
I think I'm going to go with Wagner on this one. Yeah, I think Stone will actually help him out and actually, not get in the way this time.
All right, Gary, there's a best 2 out of 3 series. We have Axiom. We have Nathan Frazier in match number 2. Axiom leads the series 1-0. He can end this thing with a win tonight. Or in, wrestling tradition, they always go to the third fall or the third match or the whatever. Gary.
I think we're going to end up tying 1-1 tonight. And then they're going to go, how will we do this? And then Nathan Fraser's going to go, well, you've never had a rounds match. No, never. And they'll go, the third one will be the rounds match. And at the end of that match, in a week or two's time, we may see somebody else reappear.
Guys, did they ever fight? Because I know A-Kid was the first ever Heritage Cup champion, and he defended that cup a lot. I didn't know if maybe Nathan Frazier was one of them before he came over. I feel like it was.
I think they did. I'm off the top of my head. Yeah, I need to check, but I think so.
All right, John Connie.
Yeah, give me the series being tied tonight, so we get please get that very special third match.
Yeah, and John Smith, that was what Nathan Frazier was telling him about the British Rounds match. He was telling Axiom about that.
Yeah, you think Axiom had never heard of it before?
The look on his face, he looked a little confused, Axiom.
Yeah, definitely. There's no possible way it's not going 3 matches.
December last year, they fought on NXT UK.
Was it a British Rounds match?
Just having a wee frick now, so to speak. Charlie Dempsey, no, I don't think it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Gary just has just a tab on it's just Charlie Dempsey photos and wrestling goals.
Yeah,
he never X's it out, no matter what's going on. Checking his email, Charlie Dempsey picture.
Yeah, it was a rounds match. A-Kid won it.
How many Ginny tabs does he have open?
Yeah. JD McDonough getting a shave, which is a necessity. Hasn't forgotten about Braun Breaker and the little cat and mouse game that they've been playing. They did an exclusive interview with Braun Breaker as well. He was rehashing his past year of NXT and his feuds with Tommaso Ciampa, Dolph Ziggler, etc. Then here comes Tyler Bate, who wants another crack at Braun, but he knows he has to go through JD McDonough. He knows JD wants one as well, so Tyler knows he's going to have to go through JD McDonough to get to Braun Breaker. So we have an official number 1 contenders match. Gary, your neck of the woods here. 2 NXT UK originals. JD McDonough, Tyler Bate, and then the winner hopefully beats Braun Breaker.
I think, from all Like I would have gone JD McDonough. I would say just for pure and simply to say we've had two faces against each other, so to have a face and a heel, I would have said JD McDonough would take it. Just
John Smith.
And this is for the number one contendership, you said?
Yeah, to a point. I think maybe it's official, but they both want to crack at the championship, and Tyler kind of like, well, we know we have to go through each other to get the bronze, so I might as well just get it out of the way now. So
I don't know. I think they'll go with Bate. I think I'm going to go with Bate on this one.
all right, John DeConnie.
I mean, we've seen both of these recently. We've seen JD versus Braun. We've seen Bate versus Braun. So, I mean, this is an AEW. We can have some kind of schmaz, crazy, stupid ending, no contest, and give us a triple threat match.
Ooh, I like that. John DeConnie thinking out of the box, clicking the no contest button. I like it. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot better than just. But I think if it has to be a winner, I'm going to go with JD. I think he's got the story. I think he's got the beef with Braun. Tyler can always just do something. Tyler can get attacked by Grayson Waller at some point, and then there goes that. There starts that. So we go from NXT. We're going to layeth the smacketh down on your Rudy Poo candy asses. Blue. Okay, and we switch to Damage Control did an in-ring promo since they can go back and forth now because Ding Dong, they have the tag team championships. And Ding Dong, hello, Bailey's back on SmackDown. Interrupted by Raquel Gonzalez, who's not happy. Damage Control put Aaliyah on the shelf, John DeConnie, so they thought about it.
Exactly. And, of course, Dakota and Io were out there, so there was constant little, hamperings from ringside. But it got to the extreme point where Dakota got close enough that Raquel was able to yank her into the ring, and Dakota eventually got slammed onto Bailey. But as the referee was rolling Dakota Kai out, Io interferes just long enough to let Bailey not only recover from the slam, but deliver the rose plant to Raquel and get the 1-2-3. Afterwards, Damage Control attacks 3-on-1, and Shotzi raced down for the save. And it was still 3-on-2, but Damage Control kind of let it be. They bailed. They took off. Bailey had her victory.
Hunter's a Shotzi guy, which is fine. I don't mind Shotzi at all, but she was killing it with her heel promos. I kind of thought she would just keep her going with that, but whatever Hunter wants. Hunter, I trust. Speaking of, I hope they know what she's doing. Liv Morgan wants an Extreme Rules match. Extreme Rules against Ronda Rousey. She better have one solid ass foolproof plan to want to do that with Ronda Rousey. So let's just hope that the Raw roll-up is still ready to roll here. Drew McIntyre said Karrion Kross doesn't have the balls to face a man-to-man. All he does is back jump him. Fair point, I guess. Maximum Male Models introduced their new back-to-school line, interrupted by Braun Strowman, who attacked both Massey and Mansoor. Chad Gable intervened to get Braun's attention so that Otis can jump Braun from behind. That didn't leave Braun in a good mood at all. Braun Strowman versus Otis this Friday on SmackDown, John Smith.
Braun will beat him in, I'd say over under a minute and a half on this one. I take the under.
Under 90 seconds. Gary, do we see the running power slam on Big Otis?
Yeah, I think they'll tease Otis doing some sort of power move on Braun, and then he'll do it. I actually had in my head, John, before you said that, I was thinking, but 135, 140, I had in my head the same kind of thought, that they'll be very, very quick and devastating.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, definitely got Braun winning. If we're setting the number at 90, I'll take a slight over. And Braun, I think, recently has been using the power bomb as well. So that'd be impressive if he gets Otis up in either one of those big power moves. But Strowman definitely takes it.
Yeah, this is just also Strowman can just remind us just how, it's not just flipping cars. You can also power bomb 350-pound.
What did he do? Uppercut hit the guy's like belly or his face at one point. He did like this huge uppercut. Like you didn't see that? I'm gonna look it up.
Logan Paul, Ricochet, Madcap Moss, all getting in the Bloodline's business. Logan started the show inviting Roman Reigns to his press conference, which Roman showed, and I believe they're main eventing Crown Jewel in November, which is unfortunate because I just lost a bet. I could have swore at this point in time would have been Mansoor challenging and winning the Universal Championship in Saudi Arabia, but it looks like he's going to be modeling clothes instead. I wonder how that's going to go over. I wonder
that is not going to go over well.
I wonder if they even bring him over to. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to react, but
they're going to bring Sango with them.
There you go. Gary, so in the midst of all this Bloodline versus the good guys here, we had Sami Zayn, honorary Uso, earning his pay lately. He's got Ricochet.
Yeah, and
had Ricochet, sorry.
Another fantastic match. People will be shocked to know, obviously, between the two of these guys. With all sorts of stuff going on. You had Zayn doing a shoulder tackle, Ricochet had a head scissors, but went to the top. Zayn, or as he went to the top after hitting the Hurricane Rana, Sami Zayn shoved him off into the barricade. But the second half of the match became, or the tail end of the match, became a tale of distraction where you had Ricochet went to the top rope after super kick, but Jimmy Uso distracted him, and there was Sami hit the Blue Thunder Bomb, but the ref was still distracted and he didn't get the pin. And just as it came right towards the end of it, Sami Zayn hit a half and half suplex, went for the pin. Jey Uso slid in to distract the ref so that Ricochet could kick out. Sami got in his face. There was a lot of argument. Ricochet took them all out. Then went to the top and hit the shooting star press for the win. Although I do have to say, I honestly could see in about 6 months' time, I know that Uncle Paul is a big Sami Zayn fan, obviously, and had him as a big-time babyface in NXT. Sami Zayn is getting incredibly popular amongst the crowd. And the moment when Sami Zayn eventually turns on the Bloodline, I think, and he turns face on them rather than them turning on him, I think is going to put a rocket on Sami Zayn, to be honest. I think we have a big thing coming in the next year.
Sami Zayn is the one that beats Roman. If Sami Zayn is the one that ends Roman streaks and this whole thing was a master strategist plan, Sami Zayn may go down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. That would be awesome. And then John Smith, our newly crowned NXT North American champion, he appeared on SmackDown with his family, and he actually put his title on the line against Madcap.
Yeah, I think we all knew that he wasn't losing that title, and I think this was just to show everybody what Solo could do in the ring. It was a nice 10-minute match. Both guys looked real good, and then Sammy got involved, of course. Madcap chased him around the ring, slides back in, and eats a super kick for his efforts from Solo. And then Solo hits a spinning rock bottom for the 1, 2, 3. So it looks like that's going to be his new finisher.
Yeah, he used the rock bottom on Carmelo Hayes before he hit the Uso splash, too. So that's interesting. I wonder if his cousin's listening or watching, feeling their presence. Or maybe he's just doing a bookend. There was a 4-way tag team championship, number one contenders match for the tag team championship. The Brawling Brutes defeated the New Day, Imperium, and Hit Row. I do believe 2 of those teams were not even supposed to be in the match. I believe it was supposed to be Los Lotharios, and it was supposed to be somebody else. That was I forget. I don't know. After Imperium hit the Imperium bomb on Kofi Kingston, but Rich Holland snuck in with the cover. So we have a tag team championship match this Friday as the Usos defend against Ridge Holland and Butch. Gary. Those are UK guys, the UK originals. They were over there before they came over here.
I mean, I can't see that they want to take any titles off Bloodline, to be honest. But I think that it would be nice and it would be interesting because I do think the Brawling Brutes have something at the minute as well. And I think, why not? Let's go for a title change just for a short period of time.
John Smith.
No. That's not happening. Sorry, Gare.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Usos retaining. I mean, Roman's supposed to be in the building, so like I've been saying for a long time, when they finally lose, Roman's gonna be there to be pissed at them, and he is gonna be there. But I think this is I think just one more team getting fed to the Usos right now. I just don't think it's the time just yet.
All right, so last night on Raw, I want to keep the SmackDown graphics up for a second because last night on Raw, as Austin Theory was preparing for his match with Kevin Owens, there was a QR code. Here we go, ripping off the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, that's been doing this for a while now. They usually, there's they put a QR code on the episode of whatever the show is, and normally it's a comic book from back in the day. But this QR code was a pretty weird video, John DeConnie, and the first person that came to mind, the only person I could think of, CM Punk's coming home.
No, I was gonna go with Willy Wonka because the URL was actually WWE.com/come with me. And you'll be never mind. Yeah. So it was super weird. It was a video of it started out with a white rabbit and the question, who killed the world, I think it was. And then the white rabbit hopped off the screen and started playing Hangman with the chalk or whatever. And it spelled out the very simple answer, you did. You killed the world. And then at the end, it flashed 9.23, which is Friday's date. So seems like we're going to say a new hello to a new version of an old friend on Friday.
Everyone's saying Bray Wyatt. The White Rabbit's Paul London. Like, I don't care what anybody says. He is the White Rabbit. So, like,
when was this on SmackDown? How did I not see this?
This wasn't on SmackDown. It was a QR code that you had to look up on your phone from Raw last night.
Oh, on Raw? I didn't even see the QR code on that.
Yeah, so, but the thing is, it's 9/23, which is Friday, which is why I'm leaving this as a SmackDown segment, because that's SmackDown's date, which is going up against Victory Road, which is going up against Grand Slam. It's going to be a crazy night on Friday night. John DeConnie, get 3 stopwatches ready. So yeah, we could be getting something. We're getting something possibly Friday.
It better be good.
But we'll make the seamless transition, as all my transitions are, from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw.
It could be the gobbledygooker.
It could be the gobbledygooker. Damage Control rolled into the ring in a golf cart to celebrate their new tag team championships, interrupted by Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss and Asuka. This time, John DeConnie, it was Bayley. Bayley went double duty. She actually went against Alexa Bliss. Now, there's a feud from a long time ago. Remember that? Bayley couldn't pull the trigger in the Extreme Rules match.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't win the tables match because she didn't want to hurt Alexa. And Alexa ended up winning.
Yeah, they made reference to it. Bayley was
did they?
Very cutting with Bliss, basically saying like, look at you. You talk to your doll now. I miss the old Bliss who was, cutthroat and this, that, and the other thing. Alexa said, like, yeah, believe me, I miss that too. But remember, what the hell is it? What's the doll's name?
Lily,
yeah, sorry. Remember, Lily's not the only one who bites. I still bite too. So, she was going to get nasty later on in the evening, and this was your main event of the evening. And it was a nice back and forth between the two of them. It brought back good memories. They have good chemistry. It was a fun match for about 15 minutes. And Alexa did manage to drop Bayley with her kickback DDT, and she climbed, presumably for Twisted Bliss. But Coda distracted the referee, and Io knocked Alexa off the buckle, which allowed Bayley to pick her up, hit the Rose Plant for the 1-2-3. And afterwards, once again, Damage Control in the ring, 3-on-1 on it was Asuka, who had come out to kind of like try and keep them at control. Her and Bianca were both there. Well, Asuka kind of got caught in the crossfire, and she was getting beat up 3-on-1. Bianca came in and tried to even things up, but didn't quite work out. It was still 3-on-2. And the SmackDown Women's Champ, or the Raw Women's Champ, ate a rose plant. And Bailey got a mic and leaned over the down champion and said, I told you I was in control. I told you we were doing things on my timetable. Well, guess what? It's time. I want the Raw Women's title at Extreme Rules.
There you go. So that'll be that wasn't officially booked, but I'm sure it will be. It doesn't sound like it shouldn't. Brawling Brutes, they were doing double duty this past weekend. They were on SmackDown. Obviously, they won the number one contenders match. They were on Raw. They were bragging about their win. They were interrupted by the Street Profits, saying the Brutes didn't go through them to get that shot. So the Brawling Brutes went through the Street Profits with a roundhouse kick by Butch into a power slam by Pete Dunne. By Rich Holland. And they just, you didn't go through us. Well, you just did. John DeConnie, I did not watch Raw last night. I was too busy watching my star wide receiver in fantasy football have an absolutely career day and me not being able to take advantage of it because the rest of my team is garbage. How would you rate that finishing move? I saw you were a little upset on the
Yeah, I hope that isn't a repeatable finisher because it was weak. Holland just kind of like held the guy over his shoulder. Butch kicked him in the head, and then he finished with a what amounts to basically a scoop slam. So hopefully they'll get something else together because those two, just one of those two guys is too talented for that to be their finisher.
The Miz almost got dragged into the ring by Dexter Lumis. Thank God for Tommaso Ciampa as he helped the Miz get out of that predicament. John Smith, as I mentioned earlier, Austin Theory, when the QR code, he was warming up. He had a match with Kevin Owens. And this was stemming off of everything, the arguments that got into last week. Kevin Owens trying to motivate Austin Theory, trying to live up to the potential that he apparently has, and Theory just is a douche. So,
yeah. So Theory attacked Kevin Owens on his way into the ring, and beat him up on the outside for a little bit, and then got in, and then Kevin got in. We finally started. The bell finally rang. Match goes a little while, and then Theory decides to pick up his Money in the Bank briefcase and try to use it. But then out of nowhere, Randy Orton, out of nowhere, Johnny Shoosh yanks the briefcase out of Theory's hands, distracts him. Kevin Owens cannonballs him in the corner, hits a pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, and Johnny stole one for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and then Alpha Academy wasn't happy about that, so they went backstage. They found Kevin Owens. Johnny Gargano had his back. I'm sorry, they found Johnny Gargano, and then Kevin Owens showed up. He has Johnny's back. Gable made a challenge. They'll get at it next week, Gary. So we have Alpha Academy versus Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano.
Somehow I can safely say, A, it will be a very, very good match. But B, you've got Johnny Wrestling and KO, I think, will be moving forward from that one.
I guess, John Smith, this is if Otis and probably Chad Gable survive Braun Strowman on Friday.
I was confused about that just now. Like, why are they on both shows? I don't understand.
John, shoosh. Just let it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. That damn
the wild card rule, right? Wild card rule, is that what it was called?
Yeah. There's a lot of people that have been appearing. Raquel Rodriguez. Well, they were the tag champions, so but yeah, there's a lot of people have been kind of showing up everywhere. I think it's mostly the tag team division too. Like the Street Profits have been all over the place. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Braun Strowman versus Otis. I think they were both Raw wrestlers wrestling on SmackDown Friday.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alpha Academy on this one with Theory. Theory causing Johnny and Kevin Owens to win.
Oh, wow. John DeCon. Payback, yeah.
I can see that. But point of note, it is going to be a show in Canada. So Kevin Owens will be super duper over. So I'm going to go with KO and Gargano getting the job.
What part of Canada?
It's not Montreal, but I think it might be. It's not.
I think Edmonton.
Yeah, I think that's
Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. For those you Slapshot fans, Billy Charles Boy from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, if I'm saying this correctly. John the Connie, but the show started off a United States Championship match. Both men want to be the face of Raw or claim to be the face of Raw, and then this just leaked into the entire rest of the show. Holy Christ.
Yeah. We had Lashley and Seth Rollins for the U.S. title, and this match went almost 22 minutes to kick off. I mean, there was no BS to start the show. It was the entrances and let's get at it, and it was 22 solid minutes of wrestling, and it was pretty sensational. It's two guys that are going to put on a good match, and they absolutely did. We get towards the ending sequence. Rollins finds himself trapped in the Hurt Lock, but he's close enough to the corner to pull the old Bret Hart, Roddy Piper move, kicks off the corner, flips over into a pinning combination, which, quite frankly, his shoulders are still down too, so it shouldn't count. But anywho, the ref takes a bump in the flip. So as the ref is kind of getting his bleep back together, Rollins, still in the hold, manages a mule kick to try to get the upper hand for a moment. But before he lines up, he's getting ready for the stomp. Before any of that can happen, Riddle's music hits. Riddle sprints to ringside and then stops short about 5 feet before the apron. And Seth is just he's in attack mode. He's in a defensive position, like he's ready for the fight, forgetting that 275 pounds of Bobby Lashley is recovering from that mule kick. And Lashley did, in fact, recover from said mule kick. And there was a quick whip to the ropes and a spear by Lashley on Rollins for the 1-2-3.
So then we fast forward, and this will tie in because then we got Matt Riddle again. The Judgment Day defeated Rey Mysterio and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was attacked by Judgment Day last week, so that's why he kind of fit into this whole thing. Everything's kind of meshing together on Raw. It's actually pretty cool. After Dom dared Ray to hit him with a chair, which Ray obviously didn't do, but Ray rolled right back into a choke slam by Priest, followed by a coup de grace by Finn Balor. So Judgment Day gets the win there. Then Seth Rollins backstage, he attacked Matt Riddle. Rollins attacked Riddle during a tag team match, and they were at each other backstage. Riddle wants Rollins in a pit fight at Extreme Rules. So a pit fight, which Riddle has competed in before, and I do believe it was Toothless Timmy, correct, Gar?
That was Timmy's match.
Yep. So then randomly, I guess Finn Balor and AJ Styles, I forgot AJ Styles was on Raw. They had a little conversation in the back. Styles said Balor turned his back on him. Balor disagrees and asked Styles to join the Judgment Day. So they're just looking to sign everybody. It's kind of like, I guess, WWE's version of AEW. Hey-oh! But this whole thing stems back to a match that's signed for next week with Damian Priest and Matt Riddle, John DeConnie. And I guess he said Riddle's still pissed off about the attack from Judgment Day, but he's going to be fighting Damian Priest before he gets into a fight pit with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and he's going to be outnumbered just by the Judgment Day. And even if Ray shows up to help him, even if Edge somehow, recovers enough to show up to help him, there's still the specter of Rollins getting involved to screw him over just because he can and just to piss him off more heading into Extreme Rules. So I'm going to say Damian Priest gets it done, heel tactics to win.
John Smith.
I'm going to go with that exact same scenario, but Riddle somehow sneaks away with like a Raw roll-up and then pisses everybody off in the process.
Raw could use one of those right about now. Raw is in desperate need of some roll-ups, Gar.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to go with John DeConte's thinking. I think that it'll be the same, that Damian Priest will come out of this by hook or by crook. So Damian Priest to win it.
All right, that will do it for Monday Night Raw, and that will do it for Gary Mehaffy. Thank you so much for staying up late with us. One last question before we get you out of here. AEW has a huge tournament championship final tomorrow night at Arthur Ashe Stadium, right around the corner in Queens, New York. Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, who do you got?
I have got Moxley. And as much as I am the biggest Bryan Danielson fan, and he's like one of my favorite wrestlers ever, I just think that there's been too much with Moxley over the summer, and him giving all the rah-rah speeches recently on TV and stuff. So I think Moxley's going to take it.
All right. Stay tuned for the rest of our picks. We're going to be main eventing with AEW. But in the meantime, Gary, thank you again so much. It was great seeing you. We will see you next week to discuss the new look NXT.
Indeed. I shall see you later. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Hey, bud.
So before we get into AEW Dynamite, we're going to go to Friday Night Impact and Victory Road. I think let's maybe have some conversations. We got there. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. I think there's some stuff on Impact. That's right. We had a main event, John Nakani. Last week, we had a match that we never got to see up until last Thursday night. It looked like it was the last hurrah from what I heard. But how was the Machine Guns and our beloved Good Brothers?
Yeah, this was the how the hell have we never seen this match before match. It was 20 minutes of exactly what you expected. Now there was a little less high flying early on than you would expect out of the Guns. They wrestled the Good Brothers style. It was a grinding catch as catch can kind of back and forth. But later on and I wasn't sure that the Good Brothers, very good team, the borderline legends, as everyone's a legend now if they've held multiple belts and whatnot. So they definitely deserve the pat on the back and to be placed pretty high in the hierarchy. But I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to go 20 minutes with the Guns. And by golly, they absolutely did go 20 minutes with the Guns. And the last 5 minutes or so was quite a sprint. You had the Guns knock Gallows to the floor after Sabin had escaped the Magic Killer. And then Sabin hits a suicide dive to take out Gallows. And that was kind of the end of him for the match towards the end. He was kind of on the floor and you were wondering where he was for a while. Sabin would then escape the gun stun and get Anderson up for the cradle shock, and Anderson would get out of that. Then the Guns would pull off that Muda lock with the low drop kick that always looks so impressive, and I'm not sure how it doesn't break somebody's back. And they hit a double, I think it was Sabin hits a boot, and like a running boot, and Shelley hits an enziguri, and that set them up for Skull and Bones on Karl. And God love him, he counted the lights on the way out of town. The Motor City Machine Guns get the victory, and it does look like a goodbye to the Good Brothers.
Yep, and then as we heard before that, Aussie Open from the United Empire and New Japan, the Openweight Tag Team Champions, they were on the winner of the Good Brothers and the Machine Guns. So it looks like this Thursday we're going to have the Machine Guns versus Aussie Open, John Smith.
This one's tough. I'm going to go with the Machine Guns.
All right, John Connie.
We saw Aussie Open last week, the week before on Impact. We saw them once or twice in AEW. I still don't have a feel for them. They're obviously good. I just I don't know. Is this going to be a winner is us, of the week? It's going to be good because it's got the Guns in it, but I'm going to go with Aussie Open since they're the strong champs. They're not going to take a loss here, I'm guessing, and since the Guns aren't necessarily headed towards the tag titles or anything in Impact at the moment, give me Aussie Open getting the win here.
Yeah, I'll go with Aussie Open as well. It's very good detailed, so I will just say I agree. Eric Young asking his followers what their names are, and in true pro wrestling nature, it doesn't matter what their names are. Joe Hendry is apparently the newest star at Impact, as he will try to motivate us during some trying times of our lives, as apparent during the video segment where he updated the family after their family member passed away right in front of them, and I do believe it was because he got hit by a chair backstage. So even Impact fires. It's not just WWE. If Impact sees something, they will fire shots, and they just took one at AEW right there. So that was funny. But this Joe Hendry guy, I should have asked Gary about him. This guy's a Scottish guy, so he's from overseas, and let's see some more of Joe Hendry. I guess this guy.
I'm not going to be able to get through calling matches about this guy without doing a very bad Joe Pesci impersonation. Help me out here, Hendry.
Right. Vincent continued his shock therapy on PCO. And then actually tonight, John DeConnie, on Thursday night, we actually have the ladder match for the digital media title. Brian Myers appreciates Bhupender's rise to success and impact at such a young age, but Myers vows to send Bhupender crashing back down to earth as he climbed the ladder.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't save this one for Victory Road, because it sounds like it could be a lot of fun and entertaining, but I thought they were ready to put the strap on Gujar last time the two of these two faced. I'm going to say they do it here, because that way Myers doesn't actually have to take a pinfall. It's a ladder match, I guess, saves a little bit of face there. Give me a new champ.
I'm intrigued at what John said. I'm intrigued at what Gujar can do in a match like this, because like you said, he seems pretty athletic. It seems like he can go. I think this is a good time to see Bhupender shine.
Yeah, I think he will, too. I'm going to agree with Mr. DeConnie over here and go with the new champion.
All right. I'm going to stick with Myers, and I don't know why, but I'll be happy for Bhupender if he gets it done. So that will take us to Friday night and Victory Road. Again, Impact being Impact. John, we said it, I think it was last week or whatever it was. Impact hasn't impacted itself at all. They've been impacting themselves with these Friday night pay-per-views. They're going to do it again with Bound for Glory, because I guarantee you Roman Reigns is going to show up and do something the night before. Actually, no, he won't, because it's the night before Extreme Rules, so maybe they'll just let Bound for Glory happen.
Speaking of Bound for Glory, Joey's editing app edited my thing, and it said Blind for Glory in our article. Yeah, Blind for Glory.
Did the Victory Road article come out tonight? That came out already?
Yeah, I'm on it right now because I wanted to go over and remember who I actually picked for these matches.
How would he put that out? I thought he was going to put that. Maybe he didn't put. Did he put out Grand Slam too? It's a Grand Slam article out.
Yeah.
All right, good.
They're both there. Yeah.
Brian Roy still leads the overall standings. John DeConnie, I'd say, do the math here. What is that? 17 points behind.
Yes,
Beavis right behind him. Myself, John Smith, Gary, all towards the bottom. I do believe Beavis Reverence is leading the Impact standings with a 10-point lead over John DeConnie. Brian Roy, myself, and John Smith in a train wreck right there in the 113-114 range. Gary for not really being an Impact guy, not doing too well, back a little over 500 there with a 2019 record. Standard Impact plus scoring show, 5 points for the Impact title match, which there is not one. 3 points for all title matches, 1 point for the non-title match. Countdown matches will not count. If you go perfect, you get 5. So, how am I going to do this without? Okay, let's see. Last week, Mike Bailey defeated Mascara Dorada with the ultimate weapon to retain the X Division title. Respect shown to each other post-match. And then both of them were attacked by Kenny King. So this leads us to 2 matches this Friday. The first will be the X Division Championship. Backstage, Scott D'Amore was with Mike Bailey. Ring of Honor's Delirious will challenge Speedball at Victory Road, John Smith.
You will never, ever hear of me picking against Mike Bailey. He's my Miz.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, I definitely think he gets the job done here.
Yeah, it's where the hell did he get Delirious from? Like, I've only seen him like once or twice. He's great. It's fun. But this match is going to be good. But that's random.
Yeah.
Anyway, so along with that, also, we're going to – there we go, John DeConnie. We're hitting it hard. Triple threat revolver match where the winner gets a shot at the X Division champion, whether it be Mike Bailey or Delirious or whoever the champion is, because it seems like Mike Bailey defends it pretty much, if not every week, every other week. We got Trey Miguel, we got Kenny King, Black Taurus, Laredo Kid, Alex Zane, Yuya Uemura, Little Red Shoes. Mia Yim jumping in. She's cross-gendering here. And then Frankie Kazarian hopping over from AEW. The announcement left a smile on Mike Bailey's face. And it seems like he's a really nice guy here. I never really got to hear him talk, John Smith. He just seems like a very, very respectful yes sir, no sir. It's a great idea.
Very humble. He came up through martial arts, so he's a very respectful young man.
There you go. So who do you have in the triple threat revolver?
I went with Trey Miguel just because they try to shine the spotlight on him at the big shows. And this is for Bound for Glory shot. So I went with Trey Miguel.
John DeConnie.
This one's really tough. I mean, we've seen Yui Mora a little bit in AEW, and I think once here in Impact, and I think a match between those two would be fantastic. I almost kind of wonder if Frankie is coming over from AEW just because Bound for Glory, he's such a TNA, he's a TNA original, and this, that, and the other thing. You're not going to get a bad match if it winds up being Trey. You're not going to get a bad match if it winds up being Alex Zane, Laredo Kid. I'm going to go with the idea that was the first thing that popped into my head, that we're going to go into Bound for Glory with at least the threat that Honor No More can come out with a lot of gold. So I'm going to say Kenny King comes out of this.
All right. I got Kenny King as well. It's just because of the story. But yeah, Frankie Kazarian is on my radar, though. He's the one other person. Because this is their WrestleMania. This is their Wrestle Kingdom. This is their Double or Nothing. Bound for Glory is their best event, their big event of the calendar year. And normally they have like an Ultimate X or some type of car wreck for the X title at Bound for Glory. And it seems if it's going to be one-on-one this year, Frankie Kazarian is not a bad choice, but I think the story here is Kenny King, and I think as respectful as Mike Bailey is, I think Kenny King's going to piss him off, and I think it's going to be a really fun match at Bound for Glory if that's the case. Or he could go Mia Yim versus Mike Bailey, John Smith. You like that? No, you go sad.
Didn't no. I thought never mind. Continue.
All right. Killer Kelly defeated Alicia Edwards with the Killer Clutch. Post-match, Tasha and Savannah tried to attack Kelly with a chair, but that didn't work. Kelly's finally going to get Tasha Steelz at Victory Road. John Smith. I know Killer Kelly's big thing is, and I hope she appreciates this, I'm going to be watching. I think she likes that kind of stuff.
Exactly. I got Killer Kelly in a squash. Kelly.
Not Kelly. It's a different wrestler. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I think Savannah's going to be the one who gets the watch this time, along with the rest of us. And I think this is Tasha's spot to put over someone new and build another big time knockout to move towards that title. So give me Killer Kelly beating former Knockouts champion Tasha Steelz.
Okay. Next up, let's see what we have here. I got Killer Kelly as well, obviously. Now we'll be watching.
Wait! You're not going with the Jersey Girl just because
I can't go with the Jersey Girl on this one. This is. I would love Tasha to win this. She just seems to be the odd person out of all the Jersey stuff. She lost the Knockouts title. It's just sad. I miss her and Kiera Hogan. I miss Fire and Flavor. That's really what it comes down to. Mickie James defeated Von Kaiser with the Mick DT. For those of you, we will read Von Kaiser's biography like we're going to do every week. He's a German fighter. Is in challenger number 2 for Little Mac. And like Glass Joe provides little resistance. The knock-kneed Kaiser is a bit of a challenge to new players who haven't mastered dodging yet, but will quickly become easy prey as you learn the game.
Why does he have a camel toe?
I don't know. It's a great question. So, post-match, Mickie James gets approached by Giselle Shaw, who will be playing the part of minor circuit champion Piston Honda. Here we go. Here's the graphic for the match. There we go. Piston Honda and Giselle Shaw called out Mickie for wrestling inactions and is delaying the inevitable. So now Piston Honda, it's Little Mac's first big challenge. His first meeting with Piston Honda. His punches hit it hard, especially if he catches you with one of his uppercuts. He has a specialty jab combination called the Honda Rush, and if he catches you with those, it can be game over. So Piston Honda, the minor circuit champion, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out will be played by Giselle Shaw. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I don't think the last rodeo ends quite here. So give me Mickey James. Moving on.
John Smith.
Yeah, definitely Mickey James. My big thing with Piston Honda was why are his feet so small? And then when you would knock him out, his feet would be like 17 times the size when he was laying down. That always baffled me when I was a kid.
I'm gonna kind of like make a bold prediction here, and it's not that Giselle's gonna win, but I think this is potential show stealer of the night. I think they're gonna. I think they're just gonna let these two go. I'm high on Giselle Shaw. I think she's really good, and I think this is going to be sneaky great. This is going to be my show stealer of the night. Give me Giselle Shaw and Mickey James. Obviously, Mickey James is gonna win. She's not going to lose until she gets to Tyson. And I guess that will be the next thing because Jordan Grace, our Knockouts champion, I guess, is playing the role of Mike Tyson right now as the Knockouts champion for Mickey James. She slapped Zicky Dice in the face with a slice of pizza last Thursday. That was nice. Swinger and Dice delivered an envelope to Jordan Grace with Masha's mystery opponent for Victory Road. And it's Max the Impaler, along with Father James Mitchell. It's always good to see the Sinister Minister. Absolutely. But I have absolutely no idea who Max the Impaler is. I have never heard of her. I do believe Jordan Grace is wrestling Zicky Dice this Thursday. But as far as Victory Road goes, this is non-title. This is Picture Poison. John DeConnie, can you shed some light on who exactly Max the Impaler is?
She, them. She's a gender bending, big brute. She's like 5'10", 240 or something like that. She's going to tower over Jordan Grace, and it's going to be very close as to who has the power advantage here. And I think in the Picks article I said, maybe Jordan Grace pulls something out of hubby's playbook and winds up getting her to the ground and stretching her because I don't think she's getting her up for a Grace driver. So give me Jordan Grace, winning the match here, but Max is going to make her work for it.
John Smith.
Yeah, I got Jordan winning this one. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, all right. Jordan Grace, not Tyler. It'd be interesting to see. This is a way for Masha to get a one-up, though. Not a title's not on the line here. It's not like maybe this is a way for Masha to get a one-up. Maybe she's got the Sinister Minister. Maybe this Max the Impaler is going to be sticking around for a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I got Jordan Grace as well. OGK, they defeated Josh Alexander and Rich Swann via disqualification after Heath came in with a wake-up call on Taven, and he got caught. I believe I didn't realize, I think when we talked about it last week, it was not title, but apparently the tag team championships were on the line. And now Heath has a problem because now Josh Alexander and Rich Swann are kind of pissed at Heath for costing them the tag team championships. But they're going to have to team together at Victory Road against Eddie Edwards and OGK in a 6-man tag. And I do believe they announced Heath on Thursday has issued an open challenge street fight to any member of Honor No More. So that should be interesting on Thursday. But we have some trust issues here. Well, not really trust issues, John Smith, but Heath kind of playing the role not as blatant as Jessica Havoc has been, but it just seems like Heath is trying to help here, and he's not getting out of his own way.
It seems that way, but I think that they're still going to come out on top in this one.
All right, so you're going good guys on this one. John DeConnie?
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing on the line here except the ever-present momentum going into Bound for Glory. So I legitimately can see it going either way, but I'll say either Swann or Heath eats a pin here just to keep everybody else clean going into the big Bound for Glory. So give me the Honor No More contingent getting a win.
Yeah, I'm going to get Honor No More is going to have full head of steam going in with the Kenny King win, and then they're going to win here. Give me Honor No More with a full head of steam going in the Bound for Glory, and maybe they can do something with it. And then a match that was booked a while ago. Actually, let's talk about what happened last week first. Decay, the team of Crazy Steve and Black Taurus, they defeated Moose and Macklin after Taurus pushed Macklin into Moose on the ring apron, beefing with a fan. Moose was beefing with a fan, which is kind of funny, not paying attention. Into the Raw roll-up. There we go. Check one for Impact. That's what I like to see. Sami Callihan appeared post-match showing videos of both Moose and Macklin saying, yes, they had an agreement, but then they both intended on screwing each other over. No honor amongst thieves in this case, so they started swinging. So they announced this match as the main event. We're going to put it in the main event slot here in our pick segment. They announced this a while ago. These three. This is going to be pretty brutal. It's going to be a lot of fun. John DeConnie, as our senior Impact correspondent, I'd say this is a pick 'em here, but there's three people. Who the hell knows is going to come out of this one?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't. The problem is I don't see the angle coming out of it. You know, if either Moose or Macklin were going to step up next to head towards the world title or something, maybe it would be clearer. But we already know where the world title's heading at Bound for Glory. So. And as we always say, Sammy usually does all the underhanded stuff to get to the big gimmick match, and then he loses the big gimmick match. But because I just can't figure, it's a coin toss between Moose or Macklin, and I don't think either one of them gets a big boost out of it. I think maybe Sammy takes this one. So give me Sami Callihan coming out of Barbed Wire Massacre.
All right, John Smith.
This one was really tough for me. I went with Steve Macklin. I always pick against Sammy in matches that he's supposed to win. These are like right up his alley, but
Exactly.
and then he ends up winning them. Like he beat Moose like just the two of them a couple months ago.
It's Clockwork Orange House of Fun match.
Yeah, I'm going with Macklin. The only reason is because they kind of put a pause on his like major push when he first came in. It looked like they were going to go like the undefeated route with him and have him just like steamroll through a bunch of people, and then they called an audible. So I'm thinking maybe they get that back on track, and Steve Macklin wins this one.
All right. Good evening from the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast.
Good evening, Motor Cop Chronicles podcast.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, Sammy is. I got Macklin. I just think Macklin's just going to sneak in the win on this one. I'm going Macklin also, and it's a crapshoot. This is exactly. It's a three-sided coin flip. It could land anyway. But this is Macklin lost the last DQ match that they had. Moose and Sammy, I believe, are split with their series with the Ravens Clockwork Orange, and I think they had another match right after that Moose won, so they got the 50-50 buyback there. But I think Macklin wins this, gets some steam going at the Battle Royal, and they usually do some type of gauntlet for the gold or whatever. So maybe we have Macklin win that, or usually it all depends on what Rhino does. The all-time winningest competitor at Bound for Glory, greatest Bound for Glory wrestler ever.
He's just come down and win every match.
He does. That's what he does. He won last year. So yeah. So I got Macklin. I just think I think it's good. Moose Sammy obviously takes losses all the time. He can take all the losses in the freaking world. And the same thing with Moose. If Sammy gets pinned, there's no damage done to Moose, and then Moose can just go on and do whatever he likes to do. So get Steve Macklin with the nod here. And that will take us to our main event. We're gonna go green here, boys. AEW Dynamite. Oh, I forgot to put the Victory Road sign up. Oh well. We're gonna go right into Grand Slam because there's a ton of matches. Everything from last week leaks into this week. They're going to have two separate Grand Slam shows. I do believe they are all being taped on Wednesday. You're going to be sitting in Arthur Ashe Stadium if you're going for 4 hours to watch all 12 of these matches or 13 matches or whatever it is. But on ProWrestlingPick'em.com, where you play against your friends and you play against the universe, guys, you will like it too. This is going to be scored as two separate shows, but because of the taping, you need to get your Rampage picks in by Wednesday. So, no spoilers. So both shows are going to be exactly the same. Here, Brian Roy's got a big lead. Actually, not a big lead. It was at 30 points, 20-something points, high 20s over John McConnell. He's got a 3-point lead on me. Beavis right behind me. Gary Mehaffy, John Smith. Just being on par with AEW because that's just how he feels. I think he doesn't really care that he's in last place on this part of the pool. 5 points for the AEW Championship match, 3 points for all other title matches, one for the non-title match. If you get perfect on either show, you will get 5 points. Remember, there are 2 shows. We have Rampage, we have Dynamite. We're going to be covering AEW Rampage's Grand Slam first. We have Jungle Boy last week. He defeated Jay Lethal with a snare trap. And we have Jungle Boy versus Ray Phoenix, John DeConnie. Interesting matchup.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere. Not sure why, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, I'm stuck on this one between whether Jungle Boy is going to get a quote-unquote big victory here or Christian's on the shelf legitimately, right? He's not going to.
He's got a torn. I think he's hooking up with Britt Baker or something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, something like that. So does Luchasaurus cost Jungle Boy this match, or is it just a straight-up match? Yeah, give me Jungle Boy. Get him rolling, I guess.
Who the hell started that rumor? What a-holes? John Smith.
I forgot what I picked on this one.
Well, we didn't do a Pertic article on Rampage. It was just on Dynamite. So
yeah, there was only one match booked at the point where we were making our picks.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden,
damn. Yeah, he gave me Grundle Boy.
Yeah, I got Jungle Boy as well. Let's say Ray Phoenix, and I feel like these trio titles are now becoming the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Like again, last week that the Lucha Brothers had a tag title match. They haven't won since they got those 2 weeks ago. Hook and Action Bronson. They did a training montage. John Smith, are you giving 2.0 shot here against Hook and Action Bear Bronson?
No, they're one of my favorite tag teams, but no. Everrise still rules, but no.
John DeConnie.
Yeah. This one, I don't know. Does Bronson get it? The only question is, do we let Bronson get the pin and pop the crowd, or is it just a red rum? But it's definitely going to be Hook and Action Bronson taking a look.
How about Action Bronson with a red rum?
There you go.
That's what I'll call. Jade Cargill interview interrupted by a returning Diamante. I haven't seen her in a long time. Who challenged Jade to a TBS championship match? Jade Cargill defending against Diamante. John Conn.
Yeah, I think Jade retains here, but this match has. I don't care what happens in the match. I'm just waiting to see how Kiera Hogan costs Diamante the match or attacks her after the match. Just to see the interplay between those two is going to make me laugh.
John Smith.
What was the match again? Sorry.
Jade Cargill.
Oh, she wins.
Yep. Powerhouse Hobbs, he defeated In Action last week. Ricky Starks appeared post-match, and everything had turned into a fight. They're going to get back at it on Rampage, a rematch from All Out, John Smith. 50-50 buyback.
You talk so fast. Who is it?
Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. They're going to get at it again. The rematch from All Out.
Give me Starks this time.
Yeah, me and Ricky Starks as well. I had him the first time. Ride that horse until he dies, huh? John DeConnie?
Yeah, I'm going with Starks as well. Maybe it leads to a gimmick match coming down the line between the two of them.
All right, so now we're going to get interested again. We have a golden ticket battle royal. The winner gets a future AEW championship match. There is no jokers listed right now. Nobody should be coming out with a demon mask or Stokely Hathaway and his baddies or anything. The contenders, we have Hangman Page. We have Lance Archer out of left field. We have 4 members of the Dark Order. We have Evil Uno, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Preston Vance, who's apparently back from injury. We have Roosh. We have Penta. That's John's best friend. And then I spy a Jersey guy, Jay Lethal, and he's another guy who just seems to just cannot buy a bucket lately. Every match he wrestles in, he loses. So, John DeConnie, this stick out, kinda.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea how many. I don't think we know how many people are going to be in it. We certainly have not heard all of their names. I don't believe it's just, and I think there was only 4 people in the graphic. It just happened to be that throughout the course of the show, 8 other people went, "Yeah, I'm going to be in there too." Blah blah blah. So, I mean, I'm just throwing friggin' darts at the wall here. But the one name that jumps out, or the one face that jumps out, is Hangman Adam Page. You know, that regardless of who comes out of the world title match, they would have an excellent match with him. So give me Hangman.
So there's going to be more people than 9 in this battle royal? Like there's going to be more than 9 people?
I was assuming that because it was a battle royal, we were going to be it's not like they don't have the roster for it. We were going to bump it up to 20.
John Smith, let's go. Shooting darts here.
Okay, yeah. Let me look real quick. Okay, so this is golden ticket battle royal, meaning like they get
battle royal.
They get a title shot. Is that what the golden ticket is?
Yeah, we have 2 Willy Wonka references in one episode. Unbelievable. Yes, the winner gets an 8.
Is it like a Money in the Bank type thing where they can cash it in at any time? Like no,
it's going to be a set title shot, but it is going to be a world title shot.
But you have to wait after MJF gets his title shot. Like they're going way far in advance here. With my title shots.
My first thought was Wardlow, so
he's already on the card that night. Just to let you know, that doesn't mean he can't do full double duty, right. But he's on the card that night.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this one a little.
Is it the one name that stuck out? Hangman Page and Page. I don't think we've seen Page Moxley yet. We just saw Page and Daniel Bryan in the wild card round of the tournament. And I do believe that ended in a Raw roll-up. So nothing was really settled in that one. So I'm going to go Hangman Page, piggybacking off who I got in the championship. So
sure, make it 3. I'll go with Page. Sounds about right.
John DeConnie, we finally gonna get Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara, a match we should have got at All Out, and then a lot of backstage happenings, a lot of stuff happening backstage from the rumors going around. But apparently, Eddie Kingston and
they should televise that. Maybe they'd get more viewers.
Speaking of more viewers, we appreciate your generosity. Moto Cop Chronicles podcast. Thank you very much. We hope you're enjoying the show.
Nice. So we got Kingston and Guevara. I don't know what's next for either one of these. You know, Sammy's spending most of his time defending the intergender tag champions or whatever. Oops, what did I do there? Am I still on? Sorry, I clicked on something here. Anyway.
It's on.
I was trying to fight myself not to do that myself. Jimmy Kingston here. He's on a roll after beating the Stone Pitbull. So I don't. If you can beat Ishii, I think you should be able to beat Guevara.
All right. Luis Avila chiming in. He's loving this, bro. What we're doing. We hope you're doing great too. Looks like a beautiful bride. Is he just got married? Congratulations to Lewis and his beautiful bride. Oh, we got all the comments chiming in right now. Even though I have no clue who these people are talking about, I'm guessing they are. Yes, this is a professional wrestling podcast. Yes, it is.
Yes, the Essential Wrestling Podcast.
The Essential Wrestling. We're talking about men who don't wear pants fighting over belts.
John, you know what? Tonight is the best night of wrestling of the week. It's Tuesday night NXT. So go ahead and watch that on USA later, guys.
There you go. USA Network. All right. So where were we? We got Eddie Kingston, Sammy Guevara, John Smith.
Give me Fatso.
See, now I'm going to fall into my own trap again because I'm going to pick Sammy Guevara, A, because he was just in the tournament, but B, we just learned a lesson that AEW doesn't do on-screen punishments. So I don't know. Wait, maybe? So Sting's still around. We'll get to him. Don't worry about it. Sting's still around. I don't know. Maybe Is this the on-screen punishment for Eddie Kingston if they do that kind of thing? So, I guess we'll find out. I'm not Sammy Guevara. Samoa Joe defeated Josh the Goods Woods with the Muscle Buster to retain the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Post-match attack on Samoa Joe thwarted by Wardlow. So that's going to be the tag team match on Rampage. It's going to be the team of champions, Wardlow and Samoa Joe, going against Josh the Goods Woods, and I do believe who am I missing? Tony Nese. I'm sorry, right? Tony Nese, John Smith. Happy 1 year anniversary. There you go. Cheers to many more. There we go. Cheers to many more.
God bless.
Wait, so it's Nese and who?
It's Nese and Josh the Goods Woods
Versus
Wardlow and Samoa Joe.
Wardlow and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, there you go. John the
I
Comic.
thought it was just Nese versus Woods. I was like, why is that happening?
Yeah. Give me Wardlow and Samoa Joe. I think the biggest thing to come out of that one was will Mark Sterling take a power bomb at the end?
Yeah, that's maybe probably took like 3. Darby Allin defeated Matt Hardy. Post-match, Brody King appeared, wants the House of Black versus Darby Allin and Sting in a no disqualification match. That'll probably main event. I'm sorry, there we got this one. Used to watch back with Hulk Hogan and Sting. You heard me correctly, the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. Sting is wrestling still at 63 years old. You can see him Friday night on TNT Network at 10 o'clock, probably more towards midnight, because he will be main eventing, most likely. Yes, that's Sting. John the Connie. Sting in a no disqualification match in 2022. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Sting, it seems like every time Sting is in the ring, it's some kind of gimmick match where he's putting his 60-plus-year-old body on the line and comes out not only on top, but looking good every time. So as much as this would be the perfect spot to plug in a new member of House of Black and take advantage of the no DQ, until Sting and Darby lose a big match at a big show, I'm going to keep rolling with them.
Yeah. John the Connie. I'm sorry, John Smith. Yeah, I got Sting in this. It's just Sting.
It's actually, it stinks. That's what they're saying. It stinks. Like the critic. Yeah, you got to go with the Golden Boys.
Yeah, we all missed the Attitude Era, Lewis. We all missed the Attitude Era. Stone Cold, Rocky.
Triple H dominating everything.
Yep. Times are good. So now we're going to switch from AEW Rampage to this Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, it's a different show, same scoring. Everything's exactly the same. We'll switch the bottom graphic and get the match card up there. And so the first match we have, I have this out of order. We have a rematch from All Out, the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Swerve in Our Glory defending against the Acclaimed, and I'm going to go this first on this one. I called last week. I called the Acclaimed, I believe, winning this rematch. The pop and the crowd and everything that was behind it shocked me at all. I mean, I know they were getting over. I know they were getting better in the ring and this, that, and that. But that crowd at All Out was all behind the Acclaimed and everything that's what happened. They're trying to give the people what they want. Maybe we'll get a best friends hug out of this too, John McConney. But I think in an effort to make people happy, I mean, like, oh my God, my company that I love and believe is a train wreck, make you believe that it's not a train wreck anymore. By making you happy, by giving everybody what they want with the Acclaimed as the tag team champions.
Yeah, I never in a million years thought that I would think this or feel this way, but I wouldn't be surprised to see if Swerve wins, we riot sign, because the fans are ready for the Acclaimed. So, new tag champs.
Yeah, Luis, the Hardy Boys are still around. At least one of them is. Jeff, I think Jeff's back in rehab. But Matt, actually, they just said he just had a match last week. He's still around. John Smith.
Yeah, I got the Acclaimed one in this one, too. It's their time.
All right, what do we have up next? Dr. Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, they defeated Toni Storm and Athena when Deeb hit the Raw roll-up on Toni. Check one for AEW. Post-match, Britt Baker went to use the chair to hit Toni, grabbed away by Jamie Hayter, who then she proceeded to hit Toni Storm. Still issues between Baker and Hayter as we have a fatal four-way for the interim AEW Women's Championship tomorrow night at Arthur Ashe Stadium on TBS. John Smith.
Got to go with my girl Toni.
Toni.
It's too early to take it off for anyway, but got to go with tank-ass Toni. Which isn't much of a tank anymore.
No, it's not. It's liquid hips.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some Sweet Cheeks music and Toni retaining.
I got Toni retaining as well. I already picked one title change, and then plus we're getting a new champion, no matter what the outcome of that match is. So I'm going to go title defense on that one. They brought that pizza guy wrestler that was all over social media to AEW for a quick spot, which prompted a pissed off Anthony Ogogo to tweet the fact that a fake pizza guy has said more words on AEW TV than an Olympic gold medalist and the most legit man on the roster is an absolute joke. I'm beginning to get pissed off. Anthony Ogogo, ladies and gentlemen. Remember him? Anyways, Ethan Page. What's that?
Honeymoon's over, AEW.
Yep. Anyways, Ethan Page kicked Luigi in the face and then called out Pac and then challenged Danhausen and won. Yep, of course. Pac versus Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic Championship. Ethan Page wants to be the next guy in line, but it said Orange Cassidy came out recently, and then Pac shot it down. No, I already beat you twice already. You know, you're a joke, whatever. I think this is just so Jane can play it in the stadium, John the County.
Yeah, well, you know, you were mentioning earlier the Curse of the Trios titles. I think it's a lot of fun if Ethan Page, who has no patience for gimmicks, he's already said he wants the All-Atlantic title. So have Cassidy take it off of Pac here, so Page could then go after Orange Cassidy, and that would absolutely drive Ethan Page nuts, especially when he eventually loses to him. So give me a new All-Atlantic champion here, Orange Cassidy.
John Smith, Ethan Page, a man who hates cheesy gimmicks, was the Karate Man the last time we saw him in a company, and I believe he got his heart ripped out by himself. He put together a whole montage of himself fighting himself.
That was probably the best segment on, but that was Bound for Glory, wasn't it? 2 years ago?
I don't know if it was Bound for Glory, but it was like Slammiversary. I believe it was a big event. Yeah, it was awesome.
I got Pac winning this one. I don't think it's time to take that belt off of him yet. He's only defended it once or twice. I know he's a champ, so he's still gonna have a belt on him if he loses. But Ethan Page could go after Pac. Pac is like the ultimate tweener. He can fight anyone. So I got Pac winning this one.
Yeah, like I said, this is just to place Jefferson Starship in that stadium and have the crowd move. It is a great song. Actually, because of that, I have it on my Spotify. And his old music on it. I thought his old theme was good too. But yes, Jefferson Starship. Let's go. So here we go. We have the tournament of champions actually stems into 2 world championship matches. We're going to go from Bryan Danielson defeating Chris Jericho with the LeBell Lock. So Bryan Danielson advanced. There was a post-match stare with him and Moxley. We'll get to that in a second. But then later on Rampage, I guess Jericho interrupted Claudio. He's been a champ of 3 different companies, but never Ring of Honor. And that's only because Ring of Honor didn't exist when Jericho was in the Indies. Jericho was too busy kicking ass in ECW, even though he was never ECW champion, but he was still a television champion there. So maybe if he was in Ring of Honor in 2002 when it started, instead of winning, beating The Rock and Stone Cold. Speaking of the Attitude Era, beating The Rock and Stone Cold in the same freaking night.
Yeah, he was a little busy.
Yeah, he was a little busy to get for Ring of Honor. So we are going to have Claudio Castagnoli, the Ring of Honor World Champion, versus Chris Jericho in a 5-point match. We have 2 5-pointers here, boys. John Smith. What do you got in this one?
This is the match that Jericho's in AEW to lay down in. That's his purpose to be in AEW ultimately, is to put somebody like Claudio over. So I'm going with Claudio retaining.
Good question. Where does Orange Cassidy's name come from? No, I don't know. He's actually a guy who doesn't care about anything. He wrestles with his hands in his pocket. Like, he doesn't care. He's pretty athletic. He's very interesting. I don't know where the name comes from, though.
I'm guessing.
But he comes out to Jane from Jefferson Starship. So you like Jefferson Starship. You like him. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I completely agree with what John Smith said. This is Claudio adding a big name to the resume for this title reign. Give me Claudio retaining.
Is Orange Cassidy from Orange County or something like that?
It's from wherever.
California?
From wherever.
Oh, from wherever, wing, whatever. Yeah, so.
Wherever.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, so again, this is tomorrow night is a night to make people happy. Again, I don't know if we've ever gotten Jericho and Cesaro back in WWE or whatever, but now we have a Ring of Honor Championship. You get Jericho, everyone gets to sing Fozzy in the crowd. This is just going to be an AEW love fest. So Jericho's not there to win. This is for Claudio to win and get all the swings in and everybody counting and singing Fozzy. I got Claudio winning that as well. And then the other semifinal match, like I said, in the Tournament of Champions, Jon Moxley defeated Sammy Guevara with a paradigm shift. So we have what we thought we were going to have. We have Jon Moxley. We have Bryan Danielson. We have a vacant, again, AEW championship. Actually, not again. It's the first time it's been vacant, but the title situation has been an absolute mess. And now we're going to have the Blackpool Combat Club, John DeConnie, just get us back together again.
Yeah. And you've got MJF. That's exactly. You got MJF out there holding the not the golden ticket, but the casino chip, whatever. So that's coming down the line, and I don't know which one I'd rather see him fight, but I almost feel like if MJF is going to take this again fairly quickly, I feel like Mox deserves this. The way he bailed their ass out the last time and what a great run he had and the way he got his life back together, I feel like he deserves it. But I feel like if it's just going to come off of him again too quickly, this is a good excuse for Tony Khan, the fan and the mark, to override Tony Khan, the intelligent booker, and put that Bryan Danielson name in the list of AEW world champions. So give me Danielson taking the title.
Yeah, so actually, it's the other way around. Daniel Bryan is the reverse name. That's his WWE name. Bryan Danielson is actually his real name, and since WWE has Daniel Bryan trademark, Bryan Danielson has to go back to using his real name. So, yeah. You know what kind of info you'll wrestling news network. There you go. Join us every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're here. Don't be afraid to go back and watch prior episodes as well. We had a lot of fun joking around. Again, men who don't wear pants fighting over belts. John Smith.
I think the need to have like a 3-time champ, that way CM Punk isn't the a 2-time champ and having like the most reigns in AEW history. I think that might mean a little more getting him off the top of the list. So I'm going to go with Moxley taking this one. I do think that Tony Khan wants Bryan's name on that list eventually, and he will be there eventually. But we all know that Bryan Danielson gets hurt the second he wins a title anyway, so I don't think they want to take that risk and then vacate the title again and have another tournament or like a battle royal for it or something.
Let's make an it's going to be a battle over an interim. Yeah, we're getting another internship. I had Daniel Bryan from the get-go, and it's funny on a wrestling thread, a lovely lady that I know by the name of Maggie May Joy. I think I can still say her name. This is a win-win situation. This is a no-lose situation. You know who lost in this? Renee Young lost in this. Because she was supposed to be on a beach with her husband, drinking Mai Tais or little fruity drinks with umbrellas. No. Had to drag Moxley back in. Moxley did his job with that leadership promo. He's the man. He doesn't need the belt to prove that. Give this to Bryan Danielson. I can see maybe Moxley. It's weird because of the whole thing with him and MJF the last 2 weeks. It's almost like they've already started to build for that, but I don't. That would be the only reason why I would think I'm normally I was confident as all hell at the beginning of this to the point where I was cocky. Like, this is a gimme. And I still kind of think it is, but I'll give a little bit of doubt with the fact that they're already setting up MJF and Moxley. Unless MJF comes out and just destroys him post-match and injures him so he can go on his vacation with Renee and then let Bryan Danielson do his thing and MJF will have that title match and then Paige or whoever wins the other battle. But yeah, I got Bryan Danielson. It's going to be a yes moment in Flushing, New York, at Arthur Ashe Stadium. So we'll leave it at that.
Maybe we can go. Are you off of work tomorrow? We should go.
I should be off work by that. I'm right around the corner from it. Yeah, I should be off work.
We'll talk later.
It's AEW though. It's probably all sold out by now.
There's tons of tickets available. I went online and checked already.
So let's see the Raw roll-ups from last week. There was only the three. Serena Deeb, as we mentioned, against Tony Storm from last Wednesday. Black Taurus on Steve Macklin on Impact. Hardy Allen, when I said he beat Matt Hardy, he got him with the Last Supper. A very technical roll-up, but yes, a roll-up nonetheless. That is his third Last Supper of the year, which gives AEW an extended lead.
What?
They're up 4 now on Monday Night Raw, and Impact, the little engine that could here, they're only 2 behind Raw. SmackDown's been dormant, Raw was dormant, NXT got one here and there, but those 2, unbelievable. Darby's third, that ties him with 9 other guys right there in last place. You got Xavier Woods, you, Dave Brooke, with Morgan, and of course the Miz and Tamina still leading the way in the loss column. So, what is it, September? We got 3.5 more months. 3.5 more months.
Wait, we started this on the first of the year, not on the WrestleMania season?
Yeah, no, I started this first of the year. This is a calendar year thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait till WrestleMania started. I was so excited when I thought of this idea. All right, let's get to some closing promotions here. The Primetime Rundown is back in its usual day and time as Joey Jarzenga, Ian Schreier, and Mike Sabo return on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern with everything you need to know about the world of sports. And I really need to start watching this show because, God damn it, I am so pissed off and I am just done with football already. Maybe it's just the trash talking I was doing with the guy pissing on the Primetime. I can't buy a bucket this year. Goddamn Jets, John Smith. Goddamn Jets.
What an incredible comeback. There was literally a 99.9% chance of them losing that game in a minute and 55 seconds on the clock, and they somehow pulled it out.
So this is where we lead. We are down 2 right now in the win column. We're up 4 in the loss column, which isn't good. But, yeah, John DeConnie and John Smith with the Los Angeles Rams. They carried the way. Myself, Tyler, Nick Amiano. I'm not a joke out of it.
Man, if this thing was for money, it would be over already. DeLuca would already have won.
Yeah, Rob DeLuca's. What am I doing? Well, I'm out of control right now. I've lost the spot. Anyway. Do you have an interest in becoming a sports reporter? Would you like to be asking high-profile coaches and players questions in person? This is tough looking back and forth. Are you a college student looking to break into the sports media industry and looking to write about your favorite team? The Eastern Observer is looking for interested candidates to join the family for college credit. Look no further. Aspiring writers, social media specialists, content creators, etc. can inquire by emailing eosports3@gmail.com. We look forward to having you join the Eastern Observer family. The Black Cats NYC's album, Free Cake, not New Cake. Anywhere that you get your music, Pandora, Spotify, if you're listening to us right now, you can probably switch on over, search the Black Cats NYC, and you can get their new album, Free Cake. It's out now. Play loud. As always, the Essential Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by Pro Wrestling Pick'em, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool to play against us or create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe, and guys, she will like it too. Join us back next week, episode 120 at 5 p.m. on all of our viewing options. And while you're here now watching and listening, please make sure you like this episode and subscribe to the Eastern Observer to make sure you get all the updates on all of our shows and news articles. It is all about the algorithm. And a special thanks to, might as well put the promo on it now. Somebody else just commented. Here we go. Shout out to the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. Thank you so much for chiming in. It was great having you. Enjoyed it, guys. I have to get back to the slab and give some time driving onwards. I'm live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. If y'all want to check it out, make sure you check out the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. So what is that? That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So having them back, I'm maybe put AEW on mute while you're listening to the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. John DeConnie, anything before we get out of here?
Looking forward to a very busy Friday night and a very packed week of wrestling. Good stuff.
John Smith.
JETS, Jets. It's really the only time I'm going to be able to brag about them this year, so I got to get it in now.
You know, that's fine. The Patriots somehow, I don't even know why the Patriots won. Bears, it's Aaron Rodgers still owns the other John McCown.
Of course.
Alexa Bliss, we love you. Larry Steven, forever in our heart. Zion Brookside, we miss you. I miss you. I should say we miss you. I miss you. We hope to see you at some point in the year 2023. In the meantime, enjoy your wedding planning. John Smith for John DeConnie. My name is Al Karl. Please join us again next week, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. John DeConnie, take us home.
Thanks for joining us, and as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
And guys, he even does it. He done his thing.
So many teeth.